On this episode of Travelin' Tides, we share with you guys the story of how we met, how we got to our Catalina 30, and we also share a clip of the day we bought her.
Hey guys, I'm Dee.
And I'm Thea. And we are Travelin' Tides in our 1984 Catalina 30 named Tangarella that we plan to sail throughout the Gulf of Mexico, into the Bahamas, and into the Caribbean. Join us as we set sail on our adventure.
Got nowhere else left to go. I feel the sound between my toes, and I'm saying, girl, I don't know where I will go. Don't know where to go, but I know where I've been, where I've been, where I've been, where I've been. Yeah.
So that's our Catalina 30. But before I share that story with you guys, I've got to share this one. So in 2011, I got hired in the Ocala Mall to be one of those girls that was in the middle of the mall trying to straighten your hair. And across from the booth that I was working at was J.B. Robinson Jewelers. And inside J.B. Robinson Jewelers was that guy. We didn't know each other. We saw each other in passing, on lunch breaks, just, being polite and friendly. And he knew some of the other girls that were working at the hair straightening booth as well. And so we ended up actually meeting and getting introduced to each other through the mutual connections of people in the mall, people that worked in the mall. Ended up parting ways with the hair straightening booth and ended up getting hired on as a sales associate at J.B. Robinson Jewelers, where Dustin was a horologist, a watchmaker. After knowing each other from both working in the mall and then me getting hired at the same jewelry store that he was working at, we became friends pretty fast. I knew from the get-go that I wanted to be with him. He, on the other hand, wasn't so sure. See, we have 12 years age difference between us, but I knew what I wanted, and I knew that there was probably more than just a friendship there. He had just gotten out of a pretty long relationship, as did I, and he was a little hesitant at first when I brought it up, and I was persistent. I knew what I wanted, and I knew that there was something there. One evening after work, as we were closing up the store, he invited me over for pizza and a movie. And the rest is pretty much history. I don't think I left after that night. And we decided to go ahead and give it a try. And 8 years later, here we are. We've gone through van life together. We traveled the whole lower half of the United States. California, through New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, came back to Florida where we met because the van started in California. We had decided to move to California and quickly realized that California wasn't necessarily where we wanted to be, so the van life idea came about. And we did a lot of traveling, and when we got back to Florida, we realized that we didn't want to stop traveling, but we didn't want to necessarily do it in the van, and that's kind of where the sailboat came about. We started looking for a sailboat after moving back to Florida. We ended up finding a sailboat pretty early in our search. This sailboat is pretty much a time capsule on the inside. The person that owned it before us bought it and docked it, and it hasn't really been sailed since. The outside of the boat needs a little TLC, especially the hull and the paint job. But the inside of this boat was strap still on things, and it was pretty much an all teak boat. It was absolutely beautiful. We offered the seller exactly what they were asking for, and the deal didn't end up going through. We were a little devastated by it at first, but then quickly found out that there was a Catalina 30 for sale in the same marina that the boat we were just looking at was. So the next day, after finding out the news of deciding that they didn't want to sell the boat, we went and looked at this Catalina 30. And that same boat this time is now our home on the water. It is the only home we have, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But today's the day. What are we doing today, babe?
Paying off the boat.
We're paying off the boat, guys. All right.
Need 3 stamps, self-addressed envelope, and 3 money orders. You can't record from there.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos or any upcoming adventures.